This video is not about efficiency or, disciplining yourself or like starvation diets or anything like that. I'm just not into any of that. It's kind of the opposite. I hope you'll stick around, and I hope that you'll find these 5 tips for how to have a great new year helpful in your own life. Let's get right into it. Hi everyone, salut de Paris. Hello from Paris. My name is Karen. I'm an entrepreneur, an author, a newlywed, and a new resident of France. Today, since we're in January and the new year is typically a time of self-reflection, and for me at least often a time of sort of self-pressure and judgment, I thought that I would share 5 tips that have helped me immensely to achieving my goals and also to just honestly having a better quality of life in all things, in business and in my relationships and everything. So sort of 5 things that I've learned along the way on my journey, and certainly I just hope that they help you as you pursue your goals and dreams. Okay, this video is not expressly about how to make New Year's resolutions. It's much more about a philosophy of looking at life and approaching the way you tackle or embrace a goal or an objective or a dream, and how to bring those things more fully into your life without a lot of self-torture and judgment. So just by way of example, I've always been a bit of a perfectionist. Yeah, I think that really made it difficult for me to ever fully appreciate the things that I was working on or accomplishing, because I always felt like I should be doing more. So over time, I sought out advice and help for, how to be able to set goals that are achievable, and how to create a process for actually doing the things that need to be done to get them done, but also to integrating a feeling of accomplishment and appreciation into my own life. My first tip for how to have a great new year is lower your expectations. And when I say that, you may think, oh God, I don't want to lower my expectations. My expectations are already low and I want to achieve more. No. This is not what I'm saying. It's quite the opposite. And I'll give you some examples. Sometimes we think, okay, I want to make art, I want to write a screenplay, I want to get that great job or whatever. And we create this insurmountable task that maybe has to be done within, a short time frame. We want to write a novel. It could be anything. And in setting this great expectation, like overall, we can set ourselves up for failure, putting things off longer, procrastination, all that. Many years ago, I had a personal trainer and he gave me some really great advice about lowering expectations, because at the time I was kind of a fanatic. Well, let's say I was extreme. I was either exercising really hard, like dieting really seriously, trying to lose weight, or absolutely doing nothing. I told him, look, if I'm coming to the gym, I have to work out for at least an hour or it's not worth it. And he told me, no, that is not true. What you need to do is you need to work out for 10 minutes. And he didn't say you need to work out at the extreme level of working out for 10 minutes. He just said 10 minutes in the gym is a great way to set yourself up for success. And I was like, this is ridiculous. What is he even saying to me? But I tried it, and you know what? His philosophy was that when you tell yourself that you have to work out for an hour or an hour and a half or whatever it may be, or you have to run a marathon, and then in any way you fall short of that, so you say you have to work out for an hour and you only work out for 50 minutes, you failed. And your mind is such a powerful machine and tool that it will register that as a failure, and it will create those negative pathways in your mind. And so if you say to yourself, like, hey, I only have to do 10 minutes in the gym, 5 minutes, whatever it may be, with that very low level of expectation, when you do 10 minutes, you have 100% succeeded. And I did not believe it. I was totally skeptical about this in the beginning, and then I just decided to try it. And he told me, don't work out too much more than 10 minutes in the first few weeks that you do this. Just stick to your 10 minutes achieve your goal, come back again and do it, 2 days later, whatever. The idea is to understand that when you do less, but you complete that, whatever task it was you set up, it sets you up for success because your mind registers it as a success. So that would be my first tip for you, is lower your expectations, whether it is for exercise, it's for diet, it's for completing a task, it's for getting a job, it's for doing your art. Set an expectation that is very, very low and just aim to complete that, celebrate that success and build on that over time. My number 2 tip for how to make this a great new year is say no sometimes. And now I just want to be clear, I am a very yes person. I'm a positive person. I'm relentlessly optimistic. I love to say yes because I know that saying yes opens up a world of possibility, opportunity, new networks, ideas, adventure, glory, all kinds of great stuff. However, I read a great book called Essentialism a couple of years ago, and it is by, the author's name is McKeon. And his philosophy, I think the subtitle of the book is something like The Disciplined Pursuit of Less. And, it's counterintuitive because we're always like, more, let's do more, we can have it all, we can do this, we can do that. And he's not saying that you should aim for less in any negative way. He's saying you should spend your time identifying the things that are most important to you. What is that? Is it family? Is it your career? Is it a goal, a singular goal that you have? Is it 3 things that you need to do just today? And whatever those things are, those are your essentials. And as an essentialist, you then eliminate the distractions. So, the philosophy is sometimes you say no, even you say no to some things that would be fun to do. And I know this is difficult for me because I like to have fun. I like to be with friends. And I certainly believe that work and life balance is extremely important. It's just when you have a target or a goal that you really want to achieve, sometimes you have to take certain things off the table. Because otherwise you end up feeling like you can't even really enjoy those things because you feel guilty or distracted, or you don't have the full time to do the deep thinking that you need to do for a creative project. You know what I mean? So saying no sometimes can be so empowering, even if it's to a family member who is pressuring you to do something, a friend who needs your help with something a little bit more than you can offer right now. And you can be kind about it. You don't have to be like, no, I have other priorities and you're not on my essential list. It's just a matter of looking at what's most important to you, right now, and even looking at it in the long term to give yourself the time, the space, and the energy to focus on those goals. So that would be my number 2 suggestion for how to have a great year. Say no sometimes. Number 3, let go of something. What do I mean by this? I do not mean letting things go in terms of just forget about something. I mean actively looking at some elements in your life and deciding if there's anything whose time has come. And it could be anything. And I don't like phrases like toxic people or this, that, the other. If that works for you, okay, great. It's not so much my thing. But it could be a relationship whose time has come. And it's just time to kind of bring it to a close gently and let it move on. It could be an activity that you're doing that is just kind of taking more time than it's offering you in personal reward. It could be a project that you think you should be doing, or a goal you think you should have met in another iteration of your life that kind of just doesn't apply anymore, but you're still holding space for it. Could you let that go? I really believe it's important to take stock, just like you look at objects or clothes or things that you have in your life and you decide if you want to keep them or let them go. You can also do this with other things, with concepts, with relationships, with goals, and with activities, to create more space for you to do the things that for you right now are actually more important. You can let it go with kindness and with gratitude for whatever it has already taught you. Even if it's something you didn't finish, you can still say, I'll come back to you later, but for now, I'm letting you go. I'll give you an example for myself. It's actually a business that I am letting go now. I worked on a new business for almost 4 years, very passionately, something I loved a lot. It's difficult for me as a, recovering perfectionist to to not succeed in the ways that I had imagined I would. But at the same time, over the course of months, this doesn't happen overnight. And I said, oh, I'm letting this go. No, I've been working through it. I still am. But I'm taking time to appreciate what we did accomplish with an amazing team, with our mission, with the people that we were able to help. And I'm saying this is letting me have space and energy and time to create something new. And even if I'm not sure exactly what that will be, making that space is the first step to figuring out what that next thing will be. So I hope that that tip will help you let something go. Tip number 4 for how to make this a great year is something a little different. It's try active meditation. Now, I think I didn't make up that phrase, and I'm not coming at it from a standpoint of like any special training. It's something that, I probably heard about it. It's somewhere in my like yoga, watching videos, this and that. But it's something that I do a lot, and I find it when I do it, it's so comforting and rewarding and sort of restorative. So I'm just going to explain what it is. It's not, just sitting in a chair and like trying to breathe. I know that some people have a problem with that. When you hear people saying being present in your body, I know that's very kind of trendy jargon, but it's kind of like that. It's like whatever you're doing. If you are doing the dishes, if you are making your bed or dressing yourself or setting up your computer or walking to the store or shopping in the store, whatever you're doing, even the most mundane task, you laser focus in on this thing and you observe. That's all it is you just observe. You're washing the dishes. You feel the water on your hands. You look at the object that you are washing. You think about how lovely it is to have this beautiful thing in your home. And you just sort of connect with the moment during which you're doing something. You don't have to tell a story at all. It's more just about active noticing what you're doing. What does it smell like? What sounds are you hearing? What do you feel, on your skin or in your body? And it's for when you're doing anything. Could be when you're working out. Could be when you're walking down the street. Could be when you're lying in bed. Could be anything at all. It's to bring yourself into the present moment. And it has this way of just, if you continue to bring yourself, it may be that your mind wanders a little bit, but that's okay. You just tell yourself, oh no, I'm here and I'm doing this laundry, and even if it's something you don't love doing, I don't particularly love doing laundry, but it's just a way of transforming a simple moment. And I think we need more of this type of transformation in our lives in a busy world where we're constantly distracted and where we spend a lot of time thinking about the future or the past and why we did this and what we're going to do. So just grounding yourself in the moment can be like almost like taking a breath in between. And I don't know, I hope you find it as helpful as I do. I absolutely love it, and I try to do it a little bit every day. So that's tip number 4, try active meditation. And finally, drum roll, tip number 5, say this one thing every single day. This tip comes to you via the concept of affirmations. Earlier in my life, I wasn't that big of a fan of affirmations, but more and more I do find them to be very helpful, if you use them in a kind of targeted way. And I read another great book by a behavioral scientist named Fogg, and his book is called Tiny Habits. And of course, Tiny Habits has a lot, in common with like lowering expectations, because his philosophy is that if you want to change a habit, whether it's getting rid of one, let's say untangling one, as he says, or adding in a great new habit that you want to incorporate into your life, it's about doing it in very small ways. But he also said that the one thing you can do for yourself above anything else is when you wake up in the morning to say, it's going to be a great day. You can say it as soon as you wake up in bed. Just make it a plan that when you open your eyes, you're going to say, it's going to be a great day. You say it out loud. You can say it in the mirror if you want, or you can just say it wherever you are. It's going to be a great day. And it's so funny because when I read the book, but I read the book after I heard him on a podcast, I think. And I had already been saying to myself, like erratically, like just from time to time, I would remember that I had done this and it always made me smile. I would say like, something amazing is going to happen today. And so you could do your own variation, of this affirmation, but it's like setting the day up for something good and just opening up space for something great to happen. Honestly, in a world where we hear a lot of negative news, we're bombarded with, varying opinions and a lot of divisive elements in our culture, anything we can do to kind of, breathe some positivity and inspiration into our day doesn't mean everything's going to be perfect, but it just means that you're saying, hey, it's going to be a great day. Something good is going to happen. And, bonus points for tip number 5 is at the end of the day, think about something good that happened. It doesn't have to be something huge. It could be, I don't know, a moment that you had with a friend, or, an email that you received that made you smile, or it could be anything, a flower you saw, your appreciation for your home. But start each day with that sense of wonder and anticipation of something good. A final tip for making this a really spectacular year is start every day with an affirmation such as, today is going to be a great day, and you know what? This year is going to be a great year. I hope it will be for you. I hope you found this video in some way inspirational. If you have a tip for making it a great year, I hope you'll share it. So as we say in French, bonne année, happy new year, wishing you health and adventure and inspiration all the way through. See you soon.